Walking down the colonnade, I always think about how many impactful lives have been there before me and how many will come after me here at Washington and Lee.
Generation to generation, there's a lot about the student experience that has stayed the same. Honesty and integrity, I think, really connect the WNL community together.
That sense of trust within the WNL community is very important. We all kind of look to each other and depend on each other.
I wanted part of my legal education to be considering seriously these questions of honor and what it means to work and live with dignity. A life of consequence means trying to do as much good as a lawyer for as many people as you can.
Making every step you take impactful.
Having impact on more people than have had an impact on me.
A life of consequence is one that makes the world better.
At Washington and Lee, there's a higher bar set for all of us who come through these doors.
I graduated twice from Washington and Lee, undergraduate school in 1955 and law school in 1958. The chief value that I see at Washington and Lee is the honor system. It binds the students at Washington and Lee to each other, and it binds the students to the school itself.
That's an unbelievably special thing to have in your life. It's been so much more than I could have imagined.
I was playing at a golf tournament and I made an unintentional rules violation that only I would have known. And I had to call it on myself. A few minutes later, one of the opposing team's coaches came up to me. He said that over his decades coaching WNL players, he had the most honesty and integrity out of anyone he had ever seen.
If I know that you went to WNL, even if you graduated 40 years ago, I have certain expectations of the type of person that you are.
I do feel connected with the alumni. I love that I can always turn to alumni if I need help or advice.
This summer, I'm going to be doing a CDC internship with Dr. Jonathan Wortham. It really speaks to how amazing it is that we have this network of alumni that are willing to help us.
Hey Kit, thank you very much for being willing to chat.
Kit is a federal public defender. The work that she does inspires me a lot.
If there are judges that you're particularly interested in, I would send a paper application.
I'm very grateful that she's such a good friend and mentor to me.
Washington and Lee is interested in making them successful in the classroom so that they can be successful in the outside world.
I came up with the carbon capture technology. A lot of faculty members have helped me work out the kinks with it. They helped me learn how to pitch and how to actually work on the physics and the engineering and the biology that goes into it. And so now I'm waiting for approval of my patent. My big picture dream is to have some kind of impact that will be positive for people, the climate, and the environment.
I'm part of the executive committee at WNL, and I ran for that because I wanted something in my law school experience that was aimed at serving the community. It's a great honor to do that. I hope that my career can eventually be oriented at public service.
Being in extracurriculars like MockCon, we've gone through a lot of fundraising, we've learned a lot about politics. I've gotten to have the experience of growing a business from the ground up. I would love to be at a point in my life where I'm able to positively impact businesses that help people's lives become better.
This last summer, I got to go to Kenya. I was doing tuberculosis and HIV research. I got funding through the Center for International Education office. My experience abroad definitely changed my perspective on what I wanted to do, realizing that I care a lot more about public health in global settings. I view community engagement as a way to live a life of consequence. We have the ability to really make a difference in other people's lives.
Students, regardless of their financial circumstances, should be exposed to the same level of teaching as those who come from more financially secure backgrounds.
One of the things that had the most profound impact on me at WNL is the giving that people have done to give me opportunities like the Williams Investment Society, where I get to actively manage about $20 million of WNL's endowment.
Scholarship opportunities can open up so many different doors for students to gain a new perspective that might completely change their professional pathway. I wouldn't have challenged myself to even look into something like traveling all the way to Kenya if I was worrying about the costs associated with it.
Mr. Chief Justice, and may it please the court.
I have a merit scholarship, and it's changed a lot for me. Generous scholarships allow students to go out and do whatever they want to do in the law. That's probably the greatest gift that donors could give. I'm unbelievably fortunate.
The important thing is to realize that Washington and Lee made you what you are, and it's now time for you to start repaying that.
An investment in WNL students is an investment into the future.
This school is almost 300 years old, and it would not be what it is if it weren't for generous people who've come before. And I feel thankful to them that WNL continues to be the type of place that prepares students to lead lives of consequence.
I always think about how many people have been here in the same spot in the past. And it really makes me pause and think about my life moving forward and how I also want to leave that amazing legacy for everyone else.